In this video, I want to talk to you about the top 3 money habits that are keeping you poor. And what I mean by poor really is it's really stopping you and inhibiting you from really experiencing true wealth, the freedom of your time, peace of mind, and really having more options in life. My name is Yvonne, and the goal of this channel is personal growth and development. If you want to increase the quality of your life, click on the subscribe button to level up. The first bad money habit is saving the leftovers instead of paying yourself first. You see, the average person, once they get their paycheck, they're going to go ahead and pay for the expenses. So then what they do is they save what's left. And the problem is there really never is enough left. And what do? Well, then they'll hope for a raise or a promotion, or maybe switch jobs or go back to school to get further education to really increase their salary, because they think that when they increase their salary, then they'll be able to make enough for savings. The problem with that is, well, we really fall into what's called lifestyle inflation, and it's also known as Parkinson's law. And that essentially means that, as our income increases, so do our expenses. And why is that? Well, if you've noticed throughout your lifetime, once you've gotten that promotion or that raise, then you tend to maybe go to more upscale restaurants. You improve the quality of your life. Better car, better home, better clothes, and so your expenses increase, or you really end up with less. And so we don't want to fall into that trap. And so what do we do to ensure that we have enough savings? In the book, The Richest Man in Babylon really shares some key principles here. And they're fundamental truths: living below our means and paying ourselves first, paying ourselves a percentage first and saving that. And that really requires self-discipline, self-control, and really willpower. And the average person just doesn't want to hear that. That's why most people are struggling. Really, what does it mean to pay yourself first? Well, if you take a look at your pay stub, and I'm going to encourage you to do that the next time you get paid, you should be able to know what your gross income is. Your gross income is the money that you make for all your hard work. And that is the number before anyone takes anything out of it. Now, your net income is the amount after taxes, after the government takes the funds for the services that you enjoy in your community. And so that is your net income. And so what happens is most people that do save, they'll save a percentage of their net income. Well, guess what? That's not paying yourself first. What you want to do is take 10 to 20% of your gross income, and that's essentially paying yourself first. And set up a direct deposit so that it automatically goes into a savings account. And the best thing is to make sure that it doesn't even touch your checking account. If your employer sets up a direct deposit where you can deposit into 2 accounts, then I encourage you to set up certainly one for your checking, and then also set up that percentage to go into your savings. That's what I have, and I'll tell you, it's really been very helpful, because what happens when it goes into our checking account, somehow we need that money to purchase something. So if you want to learn more about the different types of savings accounts, I have a video that you can watch later on that. The second bad money habit is focusing on being rich and not wealthy. And there are 3 points that I want to make here. And the first is really defining what's the difference between being rich versus being wealthy. Well, in the book, The Psychology of Money, I really like the way Morgan Housel really put it. He says, wealth is what you don't see. You see, wealth is income not spent. Wealth is the money in the bank. It's the financial assets. It's the savings, the retirement accounts, the investment portfolios. You see, These are what make us wealthy. And see, every time you put money into your savings, that's called building wealth. What I want you to do is to remember that wealth is made from saving and investing. The definition of rich is quite the opposite. It's the money that you've converted into stuff. It's the nice house, the nice car, the nice watch, that purse you just bought. Most consumers spend more time in trying to look rich than building wealth. And that's a gotcha. Okay, I want you to be really, really careful of that. When you make these larger purchases, really ask yourself what that's going to do and how that's going to impact this wealth building process of yours. And see, what people do to look rich is they'll get into consumer debt. That's the second point I wanted to make on this, is this element of debt. You see, people that are poor and don't have that wealth mindset, they really think of credit cards like an extension of their income. And so if they can't afford something because their paycheck just didn't stretch enough and they're in the mall, what will they do? Well, they'll pull out that credit card and they'll purchase it on credit. And that's consumer debt. Well, you know, consumer debt is a form of modern day slavery. We want to get away from that and really pay down this consumer debt. The wealthy see debt very differently. In fact, they'll use debt as a leverage in order to increase their assets. So, for example, a good way of using debt is investing in an investment property. Okay, and so what will the wealthy do is they'll invest and get into debt in order to build a financial asset. Don't fall prey into trying to look rich at the expense of building your wealth. The third point I want to make here is income and the difference between how the wealthy really view income. The average person really sees their income as this one source, their day job, okay? That 9 to 5 is their only income stream. And when they think in terms of saving, they're thinking only in terms of saving a percentage of this income stream. Whereas the wealthy think in terms of multiple streams of income. They get really creative and innovative. And how does this happen? Well, you'll want to start a side hustle or start a business. And through these avenues, you're able to really become more of a creator as opposed to a consumer. So when you shift your mindset and have that paradigm shift in terms of your identity, you identify as a creator. As opposed to a consumer, what happens is you're adding more value in the world. And as you add more value in the world, you increase your skill set. What happens? Well, naturally, so does your income. The third bad money habit that's really affecting most people is not having their financial goals written down. You see, unsuccessful people carry their financial goals in their head and they're rattling around like marbles in a can. And it doesn't really serve them because a financial goal, or any goal for that matter, that's not written down, that's just a wish. And so there's something very powerful in having a written goal. And so how do we do that? Well, let's step through it. In order to write down your financial goal, the first thing you want to do is identify what are your values. And you see, it's very important to have your values very clear because that's going to serve as your anchor. That's really going to give roots, strong roots to those goals of yours. And your goals are built on those roots, those established roots of your values. And so once you have your goals identified, you line them up to your values, and now you have a strong, powerful why. Once you have your goals written down, you're going to want to sit back a little bit and ask yourself, okay, who do I need to become in order to achieve these goals? Who do I need to become? And then you design your daily habits based on who you need to become. Okay? And then as you continue day by day, continue to execute on these daily habits, you're becoming that individual and you are stepping closer and closer to achieving those goals. And just some final thoughts here. The top 3 bad money habits that are keeping you poor are, the first is saving the leftovers and not putting yourself first. The second one was focusing on being rich and not wealthy. And the third was not having a written financial goal or a plan of how to achieve it. You know, it's a spiritual principle to really build wealth, and not just for ourselves, but also for those that come after us, our children. And that's found in Proverbs 13:22. It says, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And really what we're talking about here is this wealth that comes from having this freedom of time, more options available in life, and really that peace of mind. And so that's really what we're looking for. I've created the Money Mastery Program, and this is really designed for women entrepreneurs and professionals that have maybe been struggling with money. Whether you've been struggling for years with no way out, or you're really just looking for improving your financial picture or building real wealth, this training is for you. In fact, the students that go through the program just feel a load off their shoulders and that peace of mind that comes from finally having an action plan for financial freedom. So really ask yourself, what is it costing you to feel stuck in your life? And for those that are actually ready to invest in themselves, click on the link below to go ahead and enroll. Also, I'm excited to announce that I've just launched my merch boutique. Shop for inspirational and motivational gifts for yourself, family, and friends. Click on the link in the description box below. If you've enjoyed this video and want to improve the quality of your life, click on the subscribe button to level up, and I'll see you on the next one.